Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening. Welcome back to The Medicine, where wisdom is the cure. I pray all is well with you and yours today. Children of God, today is June 13th, 2026. I am here today to share a dream with you that I had many months ago. And I would have brought the dream to you sooner, but life has been lifing, and I couldn't get it to you anytime sooner than now. The title of this dream is The Baby Hand Dream. And as I continue to discuss the dream, you will see why it is entitled that. The dream opens up with my head. If anyone has ever seen an aerial view of a stadium without the dome part, the top of it, that's how my head looked. My head, you could see the eyes and a little of my nose, but you could see around my head. And the strangest thing is, so many people were standing around my head. I was in the dream saying, Lord, why are all of these people standing around my head, looking down in my head? There were doctors, lawyers, therapists there, judges, police officers, FBI. There were investigators there. There were, oh my God, churches. The churches and their associates were there. There were family members that I knew, family members that I did not know. There was, I guess, a land investor. There were bank people there, court clerks there. There were all kinds of individuals, property assessors there. It was all kinds of things, all kinds of people. And I had friends that were there, or people that I thought were friends. And the crazy thing about it was there was a word hovering over some of these individuals, the word shady, shady. I said, Lord, what on earth is going on? I didn't understand what was happening. Well, as the dream progressed, an individual decided that they were going to try and take something. My head, let me tell you, was staged like a movie theater, a big screen television, popcorn, bubble gum, frozen soda. There were lounge chairs, a sofa, eating trays. It was everything fun, everything peaceful, Netflix and chill. Now, one of the individuals who was standing over my head decided to stick their hand down into my head and grab the popcorn. The strangest thing about it is, when that adult stuck their hand into my head, the hand changed into a baby hand. It was so funny to me. Well, the baby tried to remove popcorn out of my head, off the table. And that popcorn was so greasy, that butter was everywhere. And those kernels, or not kernels, the little hulls that sometimes get stuck in your teeth when you eat them, those holes for some reason was very sharp. And as that baby tried to retrieve that popcorn out of my head, those holes were cutting those fingers up. Oh my goodness. And that baby hand was cut up. Do you hear me? So the baby was like, oh my goodness. You can hear the adult voice talking while they were being attacked by the popcorn. They dropped that popcorn and they had to put it back in its rightful place. And then they tried to retrieve their hand. And as they brought that hand back up out of my head, someone had to go get paper towels, some kind of cloth. That person was screaming and crying. And they eventually got mad and they left. I'm not taking this anymore. I'm going. Well, there was a second person who put their hand down in my head and tried to remove the bubble gum. Bubble gum was pink inside of a wrapper, an old school bubble gum. And please forgive the airplanes they're going across. I'm sitting outside. And the bubble gum that they tried to remove, all of a sudden it unwrapped itself and started to bubble up like a volcano. Oh my God, it was like lava. That bubble gum melted. It was so hot that baby hand didn't know what to do. It was shaking. Oh, and you can hear the person on top. I know you're probably saying, why is she laughing? It's not funny. Oh, yes, it is. It's very much funny because you're trying to take something that you should not have taken. So it was very difficult for that particular person to pull their hand out because that bubble gum was sticking and you had to get it all off and put it back in its rightful place. And then you were able to retrieve your hand. Once that hand came out of my head and came to the top, it was burned to a crisp. They had to take that particular person to the hospital. It was a couple of them saying, I'm not doing that. I'm not doing that. I'm not putting my hand in that. No, my hand is not going to be in that. And so they left. Now, the third and fourth person, before they put their hand in my head to try and take the Coca-Cola, they had a discussion. They said, let's do it together. If you put your hand and I put my hand, we'll do it together. We'll have better success, because they were not having success trying to do it on an individual basis. So they said, let's come together and do it. Honey, those two individuals who stuck their hand out and tried to grab my frozen Coca-Cola, oh my God, it started to freeze their hand instantly, but it was like in slow motion. And they caught on real quick. One of them dropped their side and say, drop it, drop it, drop it, drop it. But when they dropped the Coca-Cola, it didn't fall back in its place. So as they tried to remove their hand, it continued to freeze, even though they were pulling it back out of my head. I'm so sorry. Excuse me, I'm so sorry. So they said, no. We have got to put it back in its rightful place. So once they picked it up again, the hand started to freeze again, and they got it back into its rightful place. They put it back. Then they retrieved their hand. Oh my goodness. That hand was so frozen on both of them. It was as if you blew on it, it seemed like it would just crack. Well, they had to call the police. By that time, nobody was left. Nobody was in the room. 911 is what they had to call. And the ambulance had to come to them. Now, let me tell you, this is the gist of what the dream was about. And I know you're going to say, that doesn't make any sense. But this dream was about spiritual warfare. It was about spiritual warfare. The first individual tried to take popcorn. Popcorn nourishes me and may nourish other people. But if I don't eat anything else, if I eat popcorn, I'll be able to maintain, to sustain. So the first person tried to take that which nourishes me. The second person tried to take bubble gum. Well, anyone knows that once you chew the sweetness out of the bubble gum, the next thing for you to do is to blow bubbles with it. At least that's what I do. So bubble gum brings me joy. The second person did not want me to have any type of sweetness in my life, so they tried to remove the joy. The third and fourth person, they tried to take my Coca-Cola. Frozen Coke. I don't know if you've ever been thirsty on a hot day and someone gives you a glass of ice water with ice shards in it. That water is so refreshing. It quenches your thirst. You may find yourself asking for another glass. Well, that third and fourth person wanted to remove anything that would revive me, anything that would refresh me, anything that quenched my thirst in life. It was a spiritual attack. It was a spiritual attack. They didn't want me to have any peace. They didn't want me to have anything that sustained me. They didn't want me to have any pleasure. But you know what ended up happening? Every last one of those attempts ended up with someone being hurt. So it didn't work out the way that they thought it would.